it becomes sensitized. We talked about sensitivity as a characteristic or inability in animal or in a living thing. So another type of nematoblast is the one that coils round the prey. This one does not inject poisonous substance, but it coils round the prey when the threads are discharged, and they help to hold the prey securely. That's the second type of nematoblast. And the third type has straight and sticky threads which adhere to the body of the prey and prevent it from escape. The first type of nematoblast injects poisonous paralyzing fluid into the prey. The second one coils round the prey and holds it securely, while the third one has a sticky thread, like a gum-like structure, which gums, so to say, the insects to the hydra to prevent it from escaping. So that's the type. Those are the three types of nematoblasts that you find in hydra. Now, once we have settled the case of nematoblast, you have the tentacles now contract inward. You know, the tentacles bears the sting hairs, and is the nematoblast that gets the prey first. So once the nematoblast has gotten its prey, then the tentacles now holding the sting cell contracts inward and carries the prey towards the mouth of the hydra, which is wide open. So the prey goes through the mouth of the hydra and it is engulfed into the enteron. That is, the enteron is the body of the hydra. The mucus that is secreted by the glandular cell within the mouth assists the process of swallowing. You know what mucus is slippery in nature. So that nature helps the swallowing of the insect into the enteron of the hydra. Then digestive enzymes are secreted, which kills the prey and begins the digestion outside the cell. Hydra undergoes extracellular and intracellular digestion, that is, digestion that occurs outside of the cell body and also inside the body of the animal. So first of all, it undergoes extracellular digestion. The digestion starts from outside the body and they are secreted into the enteron by the glands. Then partially digested food diffuses and is absorbed into the endodermal cell, where digestion is completed within the cell, and that is the intracellular digestion. The indigestible portions of the food materials are sent out through the mouth. The mouth of the hydra also functions as the anus. So the hydra has only one opening. It is through the mouth that it feeds. It is also through the mouth that it does excretion. So once the food is undigested, it's sent out also from the mouth of the hydra. So the third animal we'll be talking about is the tapeworm. Tapeworms are specially adapted to their parasitic mode of feeding in a number of ways. Tapeworms feed in a parasitic mode. That is, it feeds to the it lives on a host to the detriment of that host, and it does it by the following method. Number one, the alimentary canal is absent. It doesn't have alimentary canal, so the digested food is absorbed by its entire body surface. Then it has hooks and suckers that are well developed for attachment of the scolex, that's the head, to the wall of the gut to avoid dislodgement. So its head the hook and suckers attach themselves very well to the wall of the gut of the prey now, or the host, so that it is not easily removed. Then also the tapeworm has thick cuticle and also secretes mucus over its surface for protection against the attack by the host enzyme. The host has its enzyme. So the mucus that is secretes, which is slippery in nature, does not allow it to be easily removed by the host enzyme. Also, tapeworm has flattened body surface and also cytoplasmic projections called microtrichs, which increase the surface area for absorption of digested food from the gut of its host. It has a flattened body surface, which helps it to increase the surface area for absorption. Absorption is easily done because of the flat surface, so it is able to absorb digested food from the gut of its host. Now we also talk about another animal, which is the mosquito. How does mosquito does its feeding? The larvae of mosquito feeds on microscopic plants or organisms filtered by the bristles of its mouth. It chews solid food with its jaws. Now, the adult male mosquito feeds on nectar. That's the juice, the plant's juice. It feeds on the juice of the flower of plants or the plant's juice generally. The male feeds on nectar or plant's juice, while the female feeds on blood. Their mouth parts are modified into a long tube called proboscis for piercing and sucking. So it makes piercing and sucking. The female sucking blood, the male sucking nectar or plant juice. Then they also have slender mandible and maxillae, which are modified to form stylets for making a hole in the body of the victim, that is, in the skin of the victim. They are able to pierce through their slender mandible and maxillae. Also, they pass saliva into the hole. Once they pierce through, they pass saliva into that hole and suck up the blood or the juice by their proboscis. The enzyme in the saliva, they pass saliva into the hole. The enzyme now that is contained in the saliva prevents the blood from clotting. The blood of the victim does not clot, so the fluid is kept in state. So that's how the mosquito gets its food. The male feeds on nectar or plant juice, while the female feeds on the blood. Housefly is another animal. Housefly is omnivorous in nature, that is, it feeds on any organic food or solid food which is dissolved by its saliva. The mouth parts of the housefly are specially modified to form proboscis for sucking up food in solution. It sucks food in solution because it has digested it by its own saliva. It also obtains food from rotting plants and animals. Then occasionally, the housefly regurgitates partially digested food, that is, like throw back digested food and deposits it on the surface where it settles. Occasionally it does that. It pours back the food that it has taken, partially digested food, so that it can properly digest it later. Then for the butterfly, the caterpillar of the butterfly feeds on solid food, which tears and chews with its mandible. The caterpillar feeds on solid food, which it tears and chews it with its mandible. Then the adult butterfly has long, flexible proboscis used for probing flowers in search of nectar and sucking it into its gut. So butterfly also, you find it around flowers, so it gets to suck the nectar of the flower into its gut. That's how butterfly feeds. We'll now be talking about insects that feed on solid food. We are still talking about digestion and what happens to the food we eat. So we're talking about insects feeding on solid foods. Insects such as cockroach, locusts, grasshopper, and omnivorous, that is, they feed on flesh as well as on grasses. And their foods include organic materials and other things such as clothing and books. They feed on so many things, anything they can just lay hold on. And their mouth parts are mainly paired appendages of the head, modified in various ways for dealing with food. So we want to look at those appendages and how they get to use them for feeding. The first is the lambium, which is the lower lip. And the lower lip is used for manipulating food and preventing wastage from the mouth part. The lower lip of the insect is called the labium. It is used for manipulating